eat dinner, because I know this is an awkward time, but we'll just go ahead and get this going. Are we ready now?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order and do a roll call, please.
When I call your jurisdiction, if you'll please state your name, San Mateo County. And then San Mateo County. Atherton, Belmont,
Tom McEwen.
Brisbane,
Pauline Madsen,
Burlingame,
Donna Olson.
Colma, Kansas City,
Peninsula.
East Palo Alto,
Mark Diamond.
Foster City, Stacy Smith, Half Moon Bay,
Patrick Johnson.
Hillsborough,
Leslie Ragsdale.
Los Angeles,
Michael Amabile.
Park,
Betsy Nash.
Millbrae,
Christine Bowles.
Portola Valley, Rebecca Flynn, Redwood City,
I see that we have,
San
Saratoga
Bruno,
County just stepped in.
San Bruno,
Marty Medina.
San Carlos,
John Dugan.
San Diego,
Adam Marin.
South New Mexico, Woodside, and San Mateo County.
No, they have four.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Great. For a new arrival, if you need to sneak out and get some dinner, sit in the room. Please do. At this time, we're gonna go ahead and take public comment for any item that is not on the agenda. Nellie, do we have any public comment?
We do.
Okay. Back, come on up. If you'd like to come over, who's stand, that would be fantastic.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aaron Meneses. I'm actually a constituent of San Mateo County, but also an employee in Burlingame. Just here to find out what Peninsula Clean Energy is doing about power generation. We do have, unfortunately, numerous power outages in Burlingame and San Mateo Park, but also just to talk about potential solutions to power generation with a lot of growth going on in the county. A lot of the sustainable housing, along with the electrification of the county. So yeah, just excited to be here and learn about you guys a lot more. Thank you.
As you know, we cannot respond. We can't respond to your comments. Otherwise, I could explain why we've had some outages. Could have something to do with 20,000 gallons of gasoline, but another day. Yeah. Yeah. So is there any other public comment? No, anyone else?
If there's anyone in the public online who'd like to give public comments, you can raise your hand.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and close public comment and may I please have an action to, well, first of all, is there anyone who would like to pull any item off the agenda? The consent calendar?
I'll be abstaining from the minutes, so
Okay.
I don't know if we need to pull it off.
You actually, if you read them and you're fine, you don't actually have to abstain. I don't think there's any legal reason to abstain. You can vote, it's fine.
Find no way of determining where they're accurate, so.
It's fine to abstain.
It's fine to
Either way. You can do either one, whatever you want, it's fine. And then, well, you can, by the way, you can always look at it afterwards. You can always watch a meeting if anyone ever wants to watch a meeting, you can watch a meeting and that will help you if you want to vote on it. Not that you have to, just if anyone wants. Is there any member of the public that wants to pull any item off the agenda, the consent agenda? Seeing none, we'll close that public comment. All right. Can I have a motion to set the agenda and approve the consent agenda item? So Director Bowles makes the motion and a second comes from Director Jimenez. Do we need a roll call vote too, right? Yeah, we'll do a roll call vote quickly.
San Mateo County?
Yes.
Yes. San Mateo County, also yes, Scott. Atherton?
Yeah.
Yes. Belmont?
Yes.
Brisbane?
Yes.
Burlingame?
Yes.
Colma? Kansas City?
Yes.
East Palo Alto?
Yes.
Foster City?
Yes.
Half Moon Bay?
Yes.
Hillsborough?
Yes.
Los Angeles?
Yes.
Menlo Park?
Yes.
Millbrae? Pacifica?
Yes.
Portola Valley?
Yes, on the weighted shares, no, abstain on the minute.
Okay, Redwood City. San Bernardino.
Yes.
San Carlos.
Yes.
San Mateo.
Yes.
South San Francisco.
Yes.
Woodside. Okay, and the motion carries.
Wonderful.
All right, I'm going to the chair report. I don't really have a report today. We did not have executive session this month. And we'll have a few things to say at the end of the meeting, so we're all good. And I'll combine that with the CEO report for public comment. Right from CEO Marshall, would you like to take
Sure.
it from here?
Who's got the clicker, Nellie?
I do, right here.
Ah, thank you. The world famous clicker. Let's see.
Kind of like the remote at home.
Oh, okay, here we go. All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. As per usual, I'm gonna update you on just a sort of a variety of things going on with the agency right now. The first of which is to let you know that Gov PD, our government solar on public buildings program, continues apace. We are on track to have 24 sites go live here in the next couple of months for a total of 36 projects around our service territory. About 5 more projects are in the pipeline. After that, then we will begin scoping and development. That's already happening on several government, what we're calling Gov battery storage on those same projects or retrofits on those projects. And then we are determining internally, and then we will come back to you with some thoughts about the next phase of Gov PD and what that looks like and when. We have a number of projects that it's been a hugely successful program. It's also an expensive program. And so we're looking at different ways to meet our goals going forward. So more to come on that.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, please.
So my question is, has every city and Los Banos participated in this program?
I don't believe every city, but I think a majority of them,
Okay,
majority of them. Yeah,
thank you.
everyone certainly had an opportunity.
Of course.
And then in some cities, there are a couple of projects, so some have multiple. Okay, then the next is, you guys, sorry, I shouldn't say, the directors know, those who've been here for a while, know that our e-bike program has been popular for years. For the long time, we did the e-bike rebates only at certain times of the year for a limited number of rebates up to the budget amount. In the last year and a half or so, we relaxed that standard and made it a year-round rolling program. And the applications have risen 3 times over the past year. And that's just created a backlog. It's a huge amount of work and we're pushing up against our budget on that. So this team is looking right now at implementing some adjustments and controls to better manage the volume that we have, to better manage the number of rebates that are going to a single household or an account, and then overall our program spend. So just so you know, it's been wildly popular. And it's a good problem to have, but we're gonna need to tweak it to put some guardrails around it. For account service, I just, your board voted last fall, I believe, it could have even been last summer, for us to move ahead with matching PG&E's budget billing program. What this program does is that it allows customers to create a smoothing effect over their bills to basically avoid cost spikes in high usage seasons. And that's been a program of PG&E for several years now, but it only applied on the gas and T&D side. It did not apply to our services. So the board did approve us doing that, and I just want to let you know that it went live in February, and we do have 8,000 customers that are now benefiting from having an aligned program that aligns with PG&E. So hats off to the team for getting that done. And then just to let you know, we have been tracking closely the opt-out rate. January and February tend to be higher opt-outs for us because of the seasonal spike in electricity usage due to the winter months. But also in January this year, we had a fairly substantial gap between PG&E's significant rate drop and then when our new rates went into effect on February 1st. So we were a little bit concerned that we would see a big spike in opt-outs, and indeed we did not. In fact, our numbers this year outperformed last year, meaning that we had a 12% improvement on opt-outs. They're not big numbers. It's basically 24. Our average opt-out is about 15 customers per month. So it's not, we don't see large swings. We work hard to keep it that way. So just letting you know that we're through, I think the worst of the concern that we would have had a spike in opt-outs. Okay, Mike is going to join us for the state and federal legislative update.
Good evening. Thank you, Sean, directors and colleagues. I'm here again to provide you with an update from the goings on in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. Please note that there's a few changes since the board packets was sent to you, and I'll highlight those in my remarks. So first, to the state budget. As you all know, the budget drives much of what happens in the legislative session because it sets the physical guardrails for every policy decision and determining which proposal will advance and which will fail. The governor released his budget proposal in January. It calls for an approximately $3 billion general budget shortfall, while the Legislative Analyst's Office projects a significantly larger structural gap. So the focus will remain on deficit management and program oversight this session. And the May revision is critical as always because it incorporates updated April tax receipts, which often materially change the deficit outlook and reset legislative leverage. Next, to the election. Since I last spoke with you, the core dynamics there have intensified, i.e. the June primary is approaching and there is no clear gubernatorial frontrunner. Legislative behavior is increasingly shaped, therefore, by electoral caution and affordability optics. Leadership in both houses is looking to secure safe wins, while members are laser focused on addressing rising costs. As we head to the May revise, uncertainty about the revenues is making lawmakers cautious. So big new spending proposals or sweeping policy changes are unlikely in the near term. Over the summer, we're more likely to see smaller affordability-focused bills, along with extra attention to rate impacts. And then more meaningful policy shift is likely later in the year once the budget picture becomes clearer. Cal CCA is sponsoring two bills this session. The first is AB 1761 by Assemblymember Chris Rogers, who represents the North Coast. This bill focuses on introducing transparency into the power charge and difference adjustment, or PCIA, process by requiring the Public Utilities Commission to disclose all underlying data that they use to calculate IOU cost recovery charges, giving CCAs and ratepayer advocates timely access to this information to help with forecasts, challenge assumptions, and protect customers from unjustified rate impacts. The second bill, SB 1138 by Steve Padilla, from Chula Vista, looks to allow load-serving entities to trade hourly resource adequacy, or RA, obligations under the slice of day framework, reducing artificial market scarcity and lowering costs while maintaining reliability. A thing to note here is, had this flexibility been in place in 2025, ratepayers could have saved an estimated $150 to $180 million. No small amount. And Sean, I believe you had something you wanted to share with the board.
Thank you. With respect to these two bills, the Cal CCA, and I believe we've received it, but if not, they're working on some letters of support, templates. So what we're going to do is send those out to you, and if we could request your cities to take it up and potentially provide letters of support for these two bills, that would be great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Look for those next week.
And probably the next one too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, Assemblymember Diane Pappin, San Mateo, has introduced AB 2111. This bill, which we're co-sponsoring with Sonoma Clean Power and the Abundance Network, builds on the research and findings that we presented at a summit that we co-convened last June in Sacramento. It also supports Section 9 of the PCE policy platform, which this board adopted last month. The bill seeks to improve how the state plans its transmission system, so we build smarter, earlier, and at lower cost. By requiring state agencies to look at different future scenarios, including high load growth and extreme weather, the bill will help prevent expensive last-minute fixes that drive rate spikes and reliability issues. Next slide, please. Thank you, Sean. On to DC. Tariffs. First to the issue of the Trump administration's tariffs. On February 20th, I'm sure you all heard that the Supreme Court ruled that the president is not authorized under the emergency power statute at issue to impose broad tariffs, invalidating much of the administration's emergency tariff program. In response, the administration invoked Section 122 of the Trade Act of 74 to impose a temporary 10% import surcharge for up to 150 days, and has signaled that it may increase that rate to 15%, which is the statutory maximum. In the meantime, permitting reform unfortunately has stalled. There's continued bipartisan interest in the issue, and there is a comprehensive grand bargain that has been negotiated, but has repeatedly struggled to move forward for a number of reasons. The House has advanced a major package, the SPEED Act, positioning it as a timeline and litigation limiting reform, but it faces an uncertain path in the Senate. This means that federal permitting and siting timelines for large projects are unlikely to improve in the near term. At the same time, the Treasury and the Department of Energy continue refining guidance implementing the Inflation Reduction Act's Foreign Entity of Concern, or FEOC, and related prohibited foreign entity restrictions affecting tax credits for batteries, EVs, and certain clean energy components. Final rules are tightening supply chain tracing requirements and ownership control thresholds, increasing compliance burdens for manufacturers and developers. Last two items. On February 12th, the administration issued a final rule rescinding the engagement finding, a 17-year-old determination that provides a legal justification for the federal government to regulate greenhouse gas emissions under the Clean Air Act. Environmental groups and states, including California, are preparing lawsuits arguing the repeal violates the Clean Air Act. And finally, in a State of the Union address just this past Tuesday evening, the president unveiled what he called a new, quote, ratepayer protection pledge against data center price increases. Under the effort, the White House is saying that they will tell major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. With this, quote, bring your own generation approach, the administration is endorsing a push that's been ongoing for months. And as of this time, nothing specific has been shared with the public on that issue. And with that quick run through, I'll take any questions.
Great. All right, we're gonna go ahead and open it up for questions.
Nope,
Oh,
not
no?
quite
Oh,
done.
we're not done?
No,
Okay.
thank you, Mike. I have one comment to make, unless anyone has a question for Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Sure.
Just a quick aside here to let you know that with this tariff issue, that of course reintroduces for us the opportunity to go back to some of our long-term power contract counterparties that we had had to renegotiate, you might remember, risk premium based on the increased tariff and the phase out of the ITC. So we are in the process of doing that. I will tell you right now that it's an interesting conversation, and I don't blame the developers for saying we need to have a little time for wait and see after this 150 days. And it really depends on whether those refunds would ever materialize anyway. So it's several layers down, but I do want to let you know that that triggered a response on our part to start with that. Okay?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, sure.
With the greenhouse gas rule, if it's actually revoked and, goes through the process, it's not as simple as just getting somebody in office to reinstate it. They'd have to go through a lengthy and arduous process to do that, or what would happen, let's say, Gavin Newsom gets elected in 28 or whatever, he says, I want to put this rule back to place. Can somebody do that, or does it have to start from scratch? Because I know the rulemaking in Washington can take forever.
I don't know the answer to that.
I mean,
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that, but I can get back to you.
Courts may settle some of it, right? If it goes through, if someone's suing them, they're suing the administration. If they're suing the administration, the courts may settle some of it.
Good. I think the jury's out, and we could look that up for you and get back to you.
Yeah, I know rulemakings typically can take years.
Yeah.
So if it goes to 0 and then it takes 5 years.
Been to reestablish it. It'll take that long.
I'm not sure. We're gonna-
I mean, I don't know anything
Yeah,
about.
thank you though. We will, I don't know how to answer that. We'll
That's
check.
the question of the day.
Okay, all right, so I just wanted a little aside on that. Next up, thank you, Mike. Oh, come on now, friend. Okay, here we go. Back to what's going on locally here. So I think we announced last month that Mark, myself, and Shawnee will be making the rounds to all of our member agencies, council meetings, and Board of Supervisor meeting to provide a brief update on what's going on with PCE and to request that your councils adopt approval of a JPA amendment that in essence exchanges, it swaps out PCE for our new name, Westlight Energy. I expect that most of those will be put on consent, but we are coming to the meeting anyway, just to let your colleagues know what's going on. About half have been scheduled, as you can see, and we're hoping that your teams, if you're not on that list, please ask your city manager to reach out to Mark to get that on the docket. So that's coming soon to a meeting near you. All right, just a couple quick shout outs here. San Mateo Community College District is going to be having a ribbon cutting next week for its sustainability hub. This is a physical location on the college campus to support various sustainability activities. There's an interactive exhibit. PCE has been a sponsor of this effort over these number of years, and I do want to say thank you to Vice Chair Medina, who will be there to cut the ribbon on our behalf and say a few words. Not available.
I'm in DC fighting for the White House.
That's right. So thank you for that.
Anybody want to?
Yeah, anyone wants
Which,
to?
which.
Whoever
Chris?
can come. Excuse me,
CSM.
I'm gonna try my best to be there.
that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Send out an invitation. What
Yeah.
is it?
Vanessa and Kirsten have the details. We will send out the information.
Okay.
Virtual
thank you.
Marin.
Mhm.
The
Okay?
more the merrier.
Yeah, that'd be great. Community feedback form. We talked about this last month. Very happy to report that our RSVPs are over 80 people, many of whom have requested bilingual support. So the idea is already coming to fruition. I do want to call out Supervisor Mueller, who will be there, Director Hanson, who will be there. Any others? I don't think so. Oh, excuse me. And Director Ragsdale. So thank you for that. I think it's going to be hugely successful and we'll report back. We've talked a little bit already about the CAISO tour in May. The Cal CCA conference is something that's important because we have only a small window left, I think until next Friday, to get the early bird discount. And I want to tell you guys, it's $150 versus $900.
Oh,
It is a huge difference. So we really want to hear from you about whether or not you can attend. I know Director DeGolia has attended almost every one, I think. Director Medina, great. Director Colson, all of you are invited. It is an amazing learning opportunity and an opportunity to also meet your board colleagues from other CCAs. It is in Sacramento. So
That's my hometown. Don't rag on it.
there you go. No, I think it's great. We don't, we don't, I'm sorry, there's no inflection in that other than to say, so we don't have to fly anywhere. So please let Nellie know by next, what, Thursday
Be great.
or sooner. Thank you all. Okay, here's us in the community. Soon. This is in your report. Yeah,
absolutely.
Is it what we just, so if anybody goes up to Sacramento, maybe Mark, we could set up a lunch or something with our
Cool.
legislators up there. Or
Sure.
dinner if there's enough time. It'd be nice that for whoever's gonna be up there, it'd be nice to have an opportunity to invite them to, like, to see them for something.
Yeah. And we are planning a couple of activities related to our 10-year anniversary up there. It coincides with Cal CCA's 10-year anniversary, so there's a lot happening around that. We'll be announcing our new name, kind of the first unveil to our tribe in Sacramento. So it'll be a fun year to go and hope you guys can make it. All right, so a number of activities. This list is going to get much longer, starting in April with Earth Day activities. So that'll come next time. And the last slide, I think, is just our upcoming meetings. Okay, it's really going to happen. Anna, here we go. Thank you. And that wraps it up for me.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Our next meeting's really good. We have a few meetings up there on the slide.
Yeah.
Note in your calendar. Okay, I'm gonna open it up for any questions that anyone has. Yes, Director Ragsdale.
A quick thing on the on, was it Mike's presentation, not a question, but that was my one question of the day was to ask Mark if you guys could use letters. So thank you
Yes, please.
for already thinking of that. And I would presume that we would sign probably somewhere in our legislative platform already, but we can figure that out. And then for April 13th, just a heads up, I don't know what my council members could do, but I could see them, whoever comes, pulling it off consent to ask you some broad questions about, could we do our own power? Because two council members have mentioned it at different times. So just a heads up that
Explain that again.
I have explained that we don't do the distribution, we just, we buy the power and PG&E does the distribution and PD transmission distribution and the billing. But two council members have brought it up, like, because San Francisco is apparently talking
Oh,
about
right.
doing power
Public
independently.
power, yeah.
Hey, can we do our own? Can you talk to PCE about that? So I have explained.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yes, so
We'll
just
be
a
ready
heads,
for that.
just a heads up.
Great. No problem at all. Okay, next up, we have our
Okay.
Director of Innovation Strategy.
Well, let's welcome up for a briefing on PCE's access and green access energy program, Yana.
Good luck.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Yana, please jump on up there. Okay.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Jana Kopacek-Benda, Director of Innovation
Hold on one
Strategy.
second. I just want to
Oh,
take public
public
comment
comment.
on
Oh,
the
yeah.
CEO report. Yeah. Is there any public comment? Okay, we'll go ahead and close public comment and move on to item 5.
All right, perfect. All right, so we're going to talk today about 2 items related to PC's existing what's called a Disadvantaged Communities Green Tariff, or DACGT, or Green Access Program. To get the term straight right away, because it is a little bit confusing, it is a program that is funded by the California Public Utilities Commission, or CPUC. When it initially was established, it was called the DAC, Green Tariff Program. So a green tariff program for disadvantaged communities. It was then branded when PCE started running the program as the Green Access Program to our customers. So the regulatory name is DAC Green Tariff. The customer facing name is Green Access Program. I'm going to use both of those interchangeably, but it's the same program. So let's see if I can make this work. Maybe I'll just say next slide.
Yeah, Brianna.
Yeah, thank you. The DAC Green Tariff Green Access Program is a community solar program. So I'm going to talk first a little bit about what is community solar. And then I'm going to get into the details of the program. Again, it is an existing program that we've been running at PCE since 2022. So it's been 4 years. But there's been some recent changes that really we wanted to let you know about. And it's a really cool program that we just wanted to provide a briefing about. Next slide, please. But to set the context first, like what is community solar? Next slide. The idea of community solar, it is a solar photovoltaic system that all of you know. It is in a size between 1 to 20 megawatts. So that is a size that is connected to the utilities distribution grid directly. We are not talking solar plus storage on a customer's home or at a customer's business that is connected behind the meter. But instead, we're talking about a solar system that's located somewhere in a little bit more of a remote area and connected directly to the distribution grid. And so we call it a front of the meter system. Those are the typical systems that our power resources team procures, but they are usually much larger than the 1 to 20 megawatts in size that we're talking about here. Hence the community aspect of it. There can be battery energy storage systems added to the solar PV system, but don't have to. And then what happens is that the customer subscribes to a particular project, and the load serving entity, like PCE, we're a load serving entity, we virtually assign the electricity and the environmental benefits of the project to the customer. And I'm going to talk more about how that works in reality under that particular program that we run. But the idea is, again, it's a virtual assignment. The customer is not located right next to the system or even close to the system. It's a virtual assignment of both the benefits and the electricity generation of that system. Next slide. There's some great benefits to community solar, but one also has to mention that there are quite some challenges. The benefits are these projects enable customers who cannot install solar on their rooftop to access 100% renewable energy from a particular project. It's particularly well suited for renters or other vulnerable customers. Sometimes also, for people who have shaded roofs. Like I live under a humongous oak tree. Like I couldn't install rooftop solar, even though I've been wanting to for 20 years. It also brings electricity generation closer to the customer, thereby reducing the need for transmission lines. Because we're talking about a 1 to 20 megawatt system. They are large, but they are not huge. They can be closer located to urban centers where customers live and electricity is needed. I'm going to talk about the one project that we have procured so far, and that is in Los Banos, the Dos Palos project. The challenges on the other side, yep, sorry, go one more time. Yeah, the challenges on the other side, can you go back? Yeah. Perfect. Is that these projects are often referred to as what's called the missing middle. Because in our world, we have a power resources team that deals with procurement of large centralized energy projects, solar, battery storage, wind, geothermal, what it may be. And then we have the energy programs team that deals with demand side issues, more customer located resources. So solar and storage behind the customer meters, heat pump water heaters, smart control services, anything customer related. And these projects fall right in between. So sometimes they just simply don't get the attention that they deserve or need. Also, one of the biggest hurdles is that resource development tends to be expensive. As I said, projects are located closer to urban centers, land availability is more limited. Building in these areas is typically more expensive. And so it has been shown that in California, it typically requires a public mandate and a public funding to succeed. A lot of people have asked me, why don't we do more community solar? Like we love community solar, and that's the challenge. It's expensive, and it is just not, it often falls between the cracks between those like power resources and energy programs worlds that we live in. So here comes the DAC-GT Green Access Program. Yep, next slide, please. You can go to the next. So, yep, can go to the next slide. Oh yeah, it takes the time. Okay. So in 2018, the California Public Utilities Commission came out with a decision that authorized the creation of the Disadvantaged Communities Green Tariff DAC-GT program. It is a community solar program, and the idea was to foster community solar in California, and two, to provide that benefit to income qualified residents in disadvantaged communities. What was really innovative and great for CCAs is that CCAs were authorized to offer that program to their customers and recover program costs when doing so. There's only 2 program areas where we can do so, and that is in energy efficiency. And you've heard that we're submitting an application for energy efficiency in a few weeks, actually. And the second one is community solar. That's the only official areas of work where we can access CPUC ratepayer funding for running programs. And I'll talk more about how that works, the cost recovery of it. And so we decided to run the program, and we branded it Green Access Program. Next slide. So there's kind of 2 components to the program, 2 core components. One is the procurement and the development of the resources, the solar or the solar plus storage resources, and then what are the customer benefits? I'm going to talk about the procurement first and then go over to customer eligibility and benefits. So because this is quite costly, the CPUC established what's called a capacity allocation when they initially rolled out the program. So each load serving entity, each program participant got an allocation of a certain number of megawatts that you could install projects up to that size and then get cost recovery from the CPUC for the costs. We got an initial allocation of 3.7 megawatts, so pretty small in the grand scheme of things, but better than nothing, in 2022 when we initially started the program. And then there was another CPUC decision in early 2025 that expanded the program and gave us another 2.3 megawatts of capacity. So now we have a total capacity of 6 megawatts. When we got the initial capacity allocation, the goal of the program is to install new, what's called steel in the ground solar resources. And so we ran an RFP and we selected a third party, Renewable America, to develop the what's called the 3 megawatts Dos Palos project, which is located close to Los Banos. And that came online in March 2025 and has been producing electricity for customers under that program. And we just, when we got the new allocation, we just started another RFP for another 3 megawatts of solar. This time we asked for a solar plus storage, if possible, and we just got bids in, and you'll learn more about that. The RFP process is ongoing, so I can't speak much to it right now, but you'll hear from us. We'll come back to this board before August of this year to give you the results and hopefully present a power purchase agreement to you. And so then we would have the 6 megawatts procured. That's our cap. We have a cap of 6 megawatt, 3 megawatts is online. The other 3 megawatts we're procuring now. Luckily, because it takes a while to procure those resources, the CPUC decided that while you're procuring and developing these resources, a program administrator can serve customers already with so-called interim resources. And that just means if there is an existing resource installed in California that meets the requirements of the community solar program, so 1 to 20 megawatts, it's in a DAC, in the utility service area, you can use generation from that resource in the interim while the new project is being developed. Luckily, there were a few projects that can be used as interim resources. So MCE had a resource, and we have been contracting with MCE since 2022 for that interim resource. And we had to make some changes to that interim resource contract now, and that's actually the second agenda item I'm going to talk about today, the changes to that interim resource contract. But the concept of an interim resource contract is just while you're developing the resource, you can use generation from an existing resource to cover customer usage.
We have two questions. One, Director DeGolia.
Is the second 3 megawatt resource that we're pursuing targeted for the Los Banos area or?
No target. We said we have a preference for in-service area, so San Mateo County or Los Banos. They don't, per the program rules, they don't have to be in our service area. They can be in any disadvantaged community in PG&E service area. So we said preference in our service area, no matter if San Mateo County or Los Banos, but it could be anywhere else.
Aren't the customers that get the benefit from the community solar in the existing Dos Palos all in Los Banos, or
No.
is it anyone in
No.
the territory?
Anyone in the territory, I'm going to speak about that. Yeah, good question. Yeah, I'm going to speak about customers and eligibility in a second.
Dr. Macca?
How long can you use an interim resource?
There's no limit. Good question.
Really?
There's no limit. But you will get dinged. You have to submit quarterly reports to the CPUC and you have to show progress on procurement. And if you don't do that, you will get dinged and encouraged. Everyone is procuring, like every CCA and IOU is procuring. It has not been easy for everybody. Some have been unable to procure, some CCAs.
Thank you.
All right, next slide, please. So now we're talking about customer eligibility. The core basics has to be a residential customer, must be a PCE customer, so receive PCE generation service, has to be an income qualified customer, and that is defined as someone who is on a care or fairer rate. And the customer account has to be located in a DAC in PCE service area. So to Director DeGolia's question, it can be any DAC in PCE service area. So if we go to the next slide, I have a map of where the DACs are. Brianna? Thank you. It's a little hard to see, but how DACs are defined as the top 25% of census tracts in California with a high pollution burden. And there's a tool called the Cal EnviroScreen or CES tool that identifies those areas. Oh God, I don't have my glasses on. Let's see if I know this on top of my head, but let's see if that works. Oh my God, no, that's.
Try them,
Look at this. Okay, no, this works perfect. All right. See, that's what happens when you forget your glasses. In PCE service area, our current DAX, and I have to say the CES tool gets updated every 3 years or so. So the census tracts slightly change. But at this time, it is Los Banos, 2 census tracts in Los Banos, South San Francisco, Redwood City, San Mateo, East Palo Alto, San Bruno, and another census tract in Redwood City. That's our official DAX. They changed, like I said, when we initially rolled out the program, it was a previous version. And there are a few other census tracts. I can look that up in a second, but there's a few other census tracts that were eligible before and customers can remain enrolled. I'll look that up in a second. But yeah, that's where our customers are located, and they are spread pretty, evenly throughout the service area. It's not just like they're all located in Los Banos or all located in Redwood City. It's a pretty good mix. And going to the next slide, Brianna. We can explain a little bit more how the enrollment works because there's some interesting nuggets in there. So when we initially rolled out the program, per the program guidelines, customers are auto-enrolled up to the program cap. So instead of customers having to call us and say, do you have something like this, enroll me? We identified eligible customers in our service area. We looked at everyone who's on Care and FARA in our DAX, put them on a big list, and then enrolled them based on like a lottery system. When we initially enrolled them, there were a few CBOs helped us with outreach, and there were a few customers that were enrolled through CBO outreach directly because we knew those were customers that the CBOs had been in touch with that needed extra support. But the large majority, it was random selection from the eligible customer list. Do you want to ask it?
Can you take, since there's different cities that would have a DAC, can you take 2 different cities, combine the 2 DACs, since the project doesn't have to be near one specific DAC? Can you do that?
Yes, you
Is there
could.
an advantage to doing
No,
that?
yeah, I think there's no advantage to doing that.
Okay.
It's just a customer, like a census tract is a funky designation, right? It doesn't align with zip codes, it doesn't align with towns or cities or. So if you're located in the census tract, you're eligible. If you're not, you're not.
But do you have to have a certain number of customers?
No.
Oh, wow.
It's
No.
actually capped. We're gonna see that in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So-
But each track can have its own number.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
Right, on the list.
There's some census tracts that have 1,000 customers, some census tracts that have 12,000 customers, and there's no difference whatsoever.
Wow.
Yeah. But again, it has to be a Care and FARA enrolled customer in those census tracts. So we pull those out, put them on a big list, randomly enroll. So customers remain enrolled for the duration of the program, which is up to 20 years, which is long. And I'm going to talk about that in a second, but they get 20% off their bill in addition to that. So I'm going to talk about those details in a little bit. But if a customer moves out of their current home, they're unenrolled because we have to recertify that they will move into an area where they continue to be eligible, like that they're located in a DAC and that they continue to be in Care FARA. So while the program is fully enrolled, because it's been an ongoing program for 3 years, every 1 or 2 months, we enroll about 50 new customers because of program churn. It's an income qualified customer segment, and there's a lot of moving. And so I think there's for a program, it's relatively a lot of churn. And so we get to enroll 50 new customers. And as of recently, we started prioritizing in that new enrollment customers who are on the Arrearage Management Plan, or AMP. That is a program that helps you, again, customers to pay their bills. If they're in an arrear, they can help get help pay their bills kind of in a payment plan. And so we want to support those customers because they make an effort to pay their bills, and they will get an additional 20% off on their electricity bill from this program.
That's in addition to the Care FARA discount
Yeah.
Wow.
and the discounted rate that PCE offers. So it is a significant break.
There. So these are the program benefits. Let's stick on the right side because I just talked about customers. So Again, we have this program cap of 6 megawatts. What we do, we forecast, and we know actually historical generation of our 6 megawatt resource, how much electricity does that generate, and then we compare that against the load of customers. And we can enroll around 2,600 low-income customers in that program. That varies a little bit based on generation and load of the customers, but around 2,600 at any point in time. Customers get 20% of the electric portion of their bill. So not their full bill, not the T&D side, but electric. So they get 30% off their full bill, more or less 30% of their full bill because they're on care. And then they get another 20% of the electric portion of their bill from this program. It's about $330 a year for the average customer. And since program inception, we've given out about $2.5 million in customer savings. And again, all of that money gets refunded from the CPUC. So these are not PCE dollars. We get that money back from the CPUC. So that's a great benefit to customer, while at the same time, we're also supporting our mission of installing renewable energy. We're installing 6 megawatts of new solar and storage in a community solar program that is typically hard to do. Otherwise, we're offering these customers 100% renewable energy. Yeah, and then the last slide is just the cost recovery. Again, importantly, this is not funded through PCE funds, program funds, but through what we call a CPUC ratepayer funded program. There is a charge on the distribution side of the bill that's called the Public Purpose Program, or PPP charge. And the various programs are funded through that, mostly income qualified programs. And the DAC-GT program is one of them. So we get full cost recovery for all program costs, customer bill discounts, our program administration staffing costs are covered, and then also what we call the above market generation cost. We don't get all costs for the generation recovered, but the CPUC basically says, compare the costs of generation under this solar system to the kind of average generation cost that you have to serve your customer, your residential customer. And whatever the delta is, you get recovered from us, but we're not paying for the basis that you usually had to pay for. And then we get the cost recovery for the full 20 years of the program operations. So it's a pretty good deal, and it's a great program for customers. I think that's it.
All right, this is just a
Questions?
discussion item, so
Yeah.
there's no vote, but I will go ahead and ask if anyone has questions for you. Yes, Director Ragsdale.
I was wondering I think this is amazing, and you explained it so well. Question is, do the people that are automatically enrolled, do they get notice that this has happened?
Yes, they do. I know Justin Pine is on the call. He can maybe provide more details on what exactly they receive, but they receive like a welcome package. And then we have customer support. But I don't know, Justin, do you have anything else to share?
No, that's it. When we enroll them, they get a letter or an email saying they've been enrolled in the program. We have a website for it. That's it.
Okay, Director Marin.
Thank you, Yana. Thank you for sharing in your presentation that this is currently serving about 2,600 of our customers who qualify. How many more are out there?
Yeah, we have about 1,300 on the wait list right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's about 2/3, I guess, if I do my math right.
Yeah.
And so there was what's called an application for review at the CPUC from 2022 to 2025, and we argued heavily for expanding the program. And we have so many eligible customers that cannot be enrolled, and the CPUC did at least give us something, right? They increased and it did for all CCAs and all investor-owned utilities, like increased it by about 40%, I think. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Director.
Oh, they were for two
Director
of
Coleman.
Is this program only available for those particular top 25% of the census tracts?
That's right.
So I'm thinking of the households who may not be in that census tract, but can still benefit from.
Yes.
input.
Yep. Yeah. And unfortunately, fortunately, I mean, that's the requirements per the CPUC. Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Do I see another hand down there? Oh, yeah, Director Flynn.
Can you explain a little bit, how it works in terms of, you've built a 3 megawatt, plant or project in Dos Palos, which you said came on last year. The energy from that is going into the grid and going to all customers.
That's right.
So there's a cost that was involved in building that. What is the cost recovery on the actual build of the facility?
Yeah, I can give the high level and then I have Shayna here if I stumble because I'm not a power resources team member, but I'll give it a try and we'll see. So when we sign a power purchase agreement with a third party vendor, like Renewable America is the vendor for the Dos Palos agreement, we establish actually a PPA price that we pay them for cents per or like dollar per megawatt hour delivered. And that incorporates all the costs of the project to develop, to run it and all of that. So it's like a bundled price that we pay them for the energy delivered. And so once the project is online, we pay them for the generation received. A portion of that is covered by PCE, like I said, the market costs, and the cost that is above market, we get refunded from the CPUC, and that happens through what's called an annual budget advice letter.
So the 3 megawatts is what CPUC gave us in terms of reimbursement, but the plant I thought I read was much bigger than that.
No, the Dos Palos plant is 3 megawatts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. It can be up to, that's maybe confusing. I should have made that more clear. The community solar project can be up to 20 megawatts to be considered a community solar program. Like PG&E, our local utility, they run the same program. They have a much bigger allocation. They could do a 20 megawatt project. Our project size is capped at our capacity allocation. So how much capacity this CPUC gave us at the inception of the program.
And that's based on how many customers you serve and what your load is. So every load serving entity in the state receives sort of their proportional allocation of how they could participate in this program. And so ours was about 6.5 megawatts.
That's right. 6, but yeah.
Okay, Director Mueller.
Where's the land? The land's located somewhat closer to that, so it's somewhat closer to the urban center, but not within it. Is that?
Yeah, that's right.
So the property, how much property is in each one of those?
That's a good question, Shayna. Do you know how big Dos Palos is? We have a picture on the side to give you just a sense, maybe, but I don't know. I'm really bad with.
It's about 3 acres.
3 acres, oh, thank you.
And how long is the expected lifespan of each one of those pieces of property?
So 20 years. The project is contracted for 20 years.
And who owns the property then? Is
The developer.
the developer?
The developer, yeah.
Okay, so if you're a developer, this lets you basically bank property by doing this, is that?
So that's where it gets into the power resources. I mean, this is how it works, I think, for all. It's no different for a community solar project than another front of the meter power resource project. I think there's probably different types of land leases, I would assume. You can lease the land, you can own the land. I think there's different.
What was your question, Supervisor? Sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, so there's a property element to this where you're on the outside of an urban center, but the urban center is gonna go over those 20 years. And so at the end of that 20-year period, that property, the question is what, so I'm just, never mind, it's not really, I guess, pertinent to us, but I'm interested in.
Yeah.
It's probably very similar to like an affordable housing project where you sell it to a developer. Most of those have like a 20-year, whatever. We just changed our law to have it be perpetuity in Burlingame, but eventually at some point, those people will recapture those properties technically if they don't.
Well, so
that's what I'm trying to figure
here's
out.
what we
On
need
the
to-
back end after those 20 years, what happens to the property, right?
So I think what we need to get back to you on, unless somebody in this room knows for sure. It could be that Renewable America owns the property or leases the property. That's what we don't have tonight, but the developer takes care of all that. That is not, we're just a contracting partner for that.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to
So
figure out.
our
So the
contract,
developer enjoy
our
that.
contract enables that project to be built, but we do not own.
Okay.
And that is the case of all of our projects.
Yeah, it would be, if I'm a person who owns property like on the outskirts, it's not developed yet, I'm like, well, this is a great deal, like, you just be a great deal for me, and then 20 years from now, I'm like, I'm taking it back.
I don't know. We'll have to find out the ownership structure for you.
All right,
Yes, Director Medina.
So thank you very much for this question I did ask a while ago, and I got some good responses from staff. So I wanted to thank you all in advance, and then having this presentation is really helpful. So the key thing here now is making sure our residents that qualify are signed up for Care Fair, because if they're not, then they're out. They don't have an opportunity. So my question to PCE is making sure that the customers in these DACs are being told, and I'm happy to share that message. Make sure you sign up for Care Fair, because otherwise you will never get that discount. So you have to sign up for the discount, and it explains the benefits of it. So that was kind of the question, to see how PCE could assist those cities that have those DACs with that information.
So, great question. Thank you. The important thing to remember is that Carefera enrollment happens through PG&E. So what we could do though, and I think what we talked about
Right.
with San Bruno is, a blurb in your newsletter on your website, giving the link for those customers to, first, they have to determine whether they're income qualified, right, and follow the rules, sign up for Carefera. And we can talk about the availability of this program. I think the trick, however, is because it is so limited, we do not want to, set high expectations that you're gonna be able to sign up, and because we're at a churn of about 50 customers per month. It's gonna take us a while to get there through the list, but I agree with you.
Right, it's part of our brand. We are out to look out for our communities, and
Even if they just get the Care Fair discount.
exactly, so
That's the point.
Exactly.
Carefera is a greater benefit
Mhm.
than
Mhm.
this program. This is a significant add-on. But for those customers of ours that aren't currently Carefera, it's 100% in their interest to
Yep,
sign up for Carefera, because they get a 30% discount
Right.
just as part of
Right,
Carefera.
Mhm. Yes.
yeah, we can do some outreach on
and
it.
it'll be great to have our brand, that was our outreach, and it's the same flyer that could be mailed or shared via social media or through our various outreach groups, or not, or
That's exactly what I was about to say, is
Right.
that through our community-based outreach program, we do work with hard-to-reach communities and try to get more of them enrolled through their trusted organizations that already serve them for other community needs. So that's something that we're doing as well.
so,
Yes,
thank you.
Director Miller?
So what's the limiting factor on that's causing the wait list? Like what's is
The
it
size
available
allocation,
land?
the size allocation
PG.
that we've been allocated a little over 6 megawatts,
From
right? And I don't know if
who else?
it comes from the PPP fund through the CPUC, and then it's allocated, there's probably a methodology.
They're allocated based on customer load.
Yeah, so we only get a slice of that pie, of that allocation, based on our size. So it's clear that they're not serving the entire need, the entire demand.
And the CPUC set that cap to contain costs.
Yeah.
To contain the cost on the PPP.
Yes, Director Ragsdale.
This is probably a stupid question, but if we are awarded the solar plus storage, would that change our ability to enroll more people or anything?
No, but it would give us, we just ran some numbers, it would give us additional benefits. Can't talk about what those are right now, but give us some additional benefits.
I really quick want to catch Mayor Amabel, please.
Thank you. I just wanted to let everyone know it was a great presentation. And this benefit to my community is over 1,000 households are reaping the benefits. So it's really important, especially for the smaller towns.
Thank you. Director,
Just a quick question. Does the 2,600 already include the extra?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We were already able to enroll those last year when we got the new allocation, yeah.
And when there are opportunities to push to expand it, we'll be there.
Yes.
Oh.
So there was, let me just, if I may, really quickly, there
close.
was an opportunity to expand that we advocated really heavily for. You may have heard of the EPA Solar for All funding that California actually won. And that funding was supposed to go to community solar program, and then the Trump administration cut that funding. Right when it was all ready to go. So that was that.
Director Corso?
Thank you. So, this question may not be super relevant because I'm probably one of the newest members here. But remind me, so for folks to even qualify for this program, they have to be on the state program first, correct?
Yes, on the
Yes.
utility program. Mhm. Yep.
Okay, so,
And in the DAC.
yeah, so one of the things I've been doing for my constituents is every time I table, or let's say for you cities, every time you table, like reminding people that if they income qualify, they have to be on the state program before they're ever even eligible for this one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we do that on a regular basis, and we've done it at like the Samaritan House Toy Drive, we've done it at other big events where people already are, just to make sure that we're meeting people where they're already at.
Thank you. If you have any kind of flyers or anything that you use that you could share with our staff, that maybe they could then utilize, and why reinvent the wheel? If you have something that's working, let's share it out.
Sounds good.
That'd be delightful. Thank you so much. It'd be really helpful.
And in other languages.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
have
we
it,
have it in multiple languages.
yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yes, go on.
To include BESS in the new 3 megawatt program, does that require a decision of the PUC?
Yes, it did, and that came in May of 2025. That decision
So
authorized this.
and does that mean they'll pay for
They'll pay
the
for it.
BESS addition?
Mhm.
Wow, that's great.
To the same rules, above market generation costs are paid.
Would they pay to add BESS to the Dos Pavos facility?
No, unfortunately not, because that was procured under the previous program rules. Good thinking, though.
I was thinking.
I like that thinking.
But it's frankly in their interest,
One would
because
think.
they want to move that power out of the daytime
Yeah.
and make it available in the evening. And the only way you can do that is with BESS.
Gave me a good policy recommendation the next time we get a chance. I like it.
Nellie, can you read the comment?
I'm gonna go ahead and open it up
There's a
for public members of the public, please. Do we have a member of the public that would like to comment, Nellie? Or is it staff?
So the message is from staff. We
Okay.
do have CareFair outreach flyers in multiple languages that we distribute through our 16 CDO partners and through our own community outreach.
Great. We're still, I think
Andrew Schmidt.
it's still good to get what Director Corso has, because you never know, like we might want two versions, so we can have a few different options. All right.
And does not seem that we did a call for regular public comment. Yes.
Okay, regular public comment? Yes.
And I
No.
see no
Okay,
hands.
so go ahead and close public comment. All right, this was discussion item only. If anyone has any more questions, and Director Corzo, I want to thank you for collecting the dishes.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of our little pet peeves around here.
You're not at home.
You're not at home, your mother's take care, but thank God Director Corzo's here. helping to take care of
Thank
everything.
you. Mom wasn't possible here.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel like we need to assign that task every time.
Happy to.
Thank you so much.
Okay, but thank you guys.
All right,
But
you guys-
you don't have to do.
You don't have to do it, but it's very kind and we're grateful.
It is
to
kind.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
while we're waiting for them to all come back, we'll move on to item 6, which is our first amendment to the interim resource contract with Marin Clean Energy for the Green Access Program. So this is conversation 2 regarding this. And it's an action item, so we'll have an opportunity to vote after this. We'll give them 1 second to come back. Okay, thank you, Vice
Thank you very
Chair.
Maybe you can help me. Where do I point this
Thank you
thing?
very much. Yeah, we know, now we know the real truth. He wanted to sneak in and get a cookie.
Yes.
He did it under cover of.
Oh, yeah. It's under wraps.
He did it under cover of, oh, I'm cleaning the dishes.
Now, that's a veteran move, so everybody can.
Doing well by doing.
Yeah, I have some urge to help people too.
We'll get him a second here.
All right,
Yeah,
Ready?
go
Should
ahead.
we wait?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can go
okay. All right, so we learned about the program. We learned about what an interim resource is. As a quick reminder, so while we're procuring the solar resources, we can use existing resources as so-called interim resources. When we initially launched the program, we wanted to offer the benefits to the customers right away. So we reached out to all LSEs and asked, do you have a resource that fits the bill? It's in a DAC and PG&E service area, it's under 20 megawatts, and it's solar. And MCE said yes. And so a lot of CCAs actually procured electricity under that contract from MCE. And so we're going to talk today about what was that initial interim resource contract. It never went to the board because it was under 5 years. And I think there's a policy, I'm blanking right now, number 9, if I remember. One of the new risk management policies that just specifies that contracts under 5 years don't have to go to the board. So it didn't initially go to the board. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what that initial interim resource contract is about. I'm going to talk about the first amendment that we're making now, and then asking for an action to delegate authority to Sean to sign that amendment to the contract. All right. There you go. So the initial interim resource contract, I already talked about most of that. So again, just important that the resources must meet all the requirements for dedicated, so-called new steel on the ground resources. And we signed that contract with Marin Clean Energy in November of 2021 for the 3.74 megawatt so-called Goose Lake solar project. That's located in Lost Hills in California. It has a five-year term from 2022 to 2027, and a not to exceed budget at that time was $8.4 million. Noting that $8.4 million is not that's what we pay MCE under the contract. That was a not to exceed, not the actual payment. We get about 40% of that recovered from the CPUC because of those above market generation costs. The first amendment, it was triggered by 2 things. Our capacity allocation was expanded to 6 megawatts in that decision by the CPUC in May of 2025. And so we got a larger capacity allocation. And then in March of 2025, the Dos Palos project came online. So we had our own dedicated resource. So we had to do some shuffling. So if you do your math, you have a capacity allocation of 6 megawatts, you have a dedicated resource of 3 megawatts. We had to change our contract capacity for the interim resource to 3 megawatts, the difference between the existing dedicated resource and the capacity allocation. We also extended the term through 2030, just in case. We are actively procuring that new resource, but it takes often a while to get these projects online. It took 3 years almost with the other resource. We hope it's going to go quicker this time. We're really hoping for a 2-year max, but you never know. So the term was extended through 2030. Also, MCE requested this change, but they have 2 solar projects that are both eligible under the program as interim resources. One is called the Goose Lake facility that we already had on a contract. There's also a facility called the Corcoran solar facility. And they added that to the contract to have more flexibility to see from which one to give us electricity generation from. And then we updated some termination clauses just to make it a little bit easier for us. We had before only the ability to cancel or terminate the contract once annually. And that gets really tricky when you come close to your project coming online. It gets really hard to, there's a good chance you will be over procured for many months. And so we negotiated that down to 6 months. So we twice a year, we can give notice of termination. And then because we have that extended term, we increased the not to exceed budget to 11.5 million. Again, about 40% of that gets recovered.
Okay.
So yeah, the recommendation is to delegate authority to the Chief Executive Officer to execute the First Amendment to and this is the name of the agreement. It is convoluted, but it's the WSPP Confirmation Bundled Renewable Energy Portfolio Content Category PCC1 agreement. Say that fast 3 times. With Marin Clean Energy for an interim resource for the PC Green Access Program. And the 2 important components are we're revising the contract not to exceed to 11.5 million. and extending the contract term to December 31st, 2030.
Okay, questions? Members of the public have any questions? Thank you, Yana. That was very helpful. You've done a wonderful job explaining everything. Is there anyone who would like to make a motion to accept this contract? So thank you very much. Director Corzo makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Director DeGolia. We appreciate that. Roll call vote, please.
San County.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Atherton.
Yeah.
Belmont.
Yes.
Brisbane.
Enthusiastic, yes.
Burlingame.
Yes.
Colma. Daly City.
Yes.
East Palo Alto.
Yes.
Foster City.
Yes.
Half Moon Bay.
Yes.
Hillsborough.
Yes.
Los Banos.
Yes.
Menlo Park.
Yes.
Millbrae. Pacifica.
Yes.
You're not very.
No, Millbrae.
Portola Valley.
Yes.
Redwood City. San Bruno.
Yes.
San Carlos.
Yes.
San Mateo.
Yes.
San Francisco.
Yes.
Woodside. And motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Motion carries unanimously. Really appreciate it. Okay. The last item on the board here is my item. And that is the selection of a new board of director chair and vice chair. This is an action item. For those of you who have been around for a while know that every year we have create a nominating committee. That nominating committee has an opportunity to receive either nominations from other board members or self-nominations for anyone interested in serving as the chair or the vice chair. We've had a few revisions to this a few years ago that we've tried to get on a 2-year profile in order to give more people an opportunity to lead in the organization, spread the responsibilities, because these are very big jobs and they take a lot of extra time over more people, and to create a real sort of steady line of potential people that are working through the finance, the executive committee, and taking on other leadership roles, so that Sean has a stable board leadership and executive kind of committee working with her and with the staff. So I know you're not all gonna believe it, but 2 years is up.
I can't believe it.
It does feel like it went really fast. It kind of did, because I think I came a little late and then maybe leaving a little early. I mean, it was like more like April to February. But anyway, it is having had the great honor to serve as the chair and work with this amazing staff. I am going to be retiring, and our committee, which consisted of former chair DeGolia and Director Nash and myself, we did receive some interest in nominations. We received interest from our vice mayor, our vice chair, Marty Medina, to assume the role of chair. And we also received interest from Director Ragsdale to assume the role of vice chair. So our report out is that the slate that we would like to offer tonight for consideration would be Director Medina assuming the chair, Director Ragsdale as the vice chair respectively. If there is anyone who would like to make a motion from the floor to self-nominate, or at this point in time, we will still welcome that and entertain that. The way we would do it is we would vote on this first. If it doesn't pass, then we would go ahead and reconsider another opportunity or combination of people. I want to thank both Director DeGolia and Director Nash who helped me on this, because it takes some time to really kind of, think about and talk to people and sometimes persuade people to take on an increased role. And we're very fortunate to have 2 amazing board members. Just a little bit about both of them. Marty and I have served for about the same amount of time. Director Medina and I have served about the same amount of time on this board since almost the very inception. He and I have worked together on any number of things, including sort of recruiting in the past for our CAC. We've worked on executive committee together, finance committee together. We've worked on strategic planning together. we have worked on a variety of other outreach, and you've been a wonderful partner for me because you've been able to go to so many of the events and, you know, really represent and be the face of PCE, and you've done a wonderful job on that. Director Ragsdale brings a career of both civic engagement and as an attorney, background as an attorney, has a very strong contract and sort of governance and really important understanding of how these organizations need to work from sort of an administrative and a legal perspective. And she's been serving on our executive team and our finance committee team. She's worked on a variety of other subcommittees on marketing. She's worked on strategic planning and has a real in-depth knowledge of the organization. So that was sort of the backgrounds of the two. So I would just open it up if there's anyone else that would like to self-nominate, please do. We put it out there. No one came running, so but you can tonight. And if not, I'll go ahead and close that then. And I'd like to open it up for members of the public who might want to comment on this and any members of our board who might want to comment on this before we take a vote. Yes, I would go ahead and have I'll start with Director Lorraine, Director Coleman, and then Director Mads Dasman. Yes.
Well, I'm privileged to be the first to thank you, Donna, Chair Colson, for your 2 years and for being involved before then, of course, and just years of leadership. I've over the time I've been here, I've gained a greater and greater appreciation for how much you're really contributing to this organization. It is a lot, and it's a lot on top of the other a lots you have already. And so I'm just very grateful, and I think you've had a steady hand. You've been open to allowing disparate voices within our board to engage in diverse conversations that benefited the organization overall. And we're careful to find the way for us to move forward all the way through. So I just wanted to share my appreciation for the time you've put in, and congratulations on being able to take a step back.
Thank you very much.
And of course, I just want to endorse the other committee members as well.
Great. Director Coleman?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for your 2 years as chair. I can't believe it's been 2 years already. And
Nor can I.
for running the meeting so well.
Thank you.
And I come to learn you and how you operate. As I joined PCE and always seeing you so involved. It's inspiring, right?
Thank you.
And I'm proud to call Marty and Leslie my friends and work with them in a variety of capacities in my role as a city council member. And I'm very happy that you're both stepping up into these roles, and I know that PCE will continue to be in good hands and good leadership.
Thank you, Director Corzine.
Oh, I'll go.
Oh, go ahead, Director Matha.
I just want to say thank you, Donna. I think you're a prime example of like when people close a gap between what they say and what they do, right? And I've always admired your guts, your courage, your bravery, to speak out in terms of things when people always talk about equity this and equity that, but to stand on that and then believe in it and put action behind people when people say equity, that's when I know you're a real one. And I just want to say thank you, Donna, for mentoring me since I got elected. And I've been on PCE board for a long time, and I think from just watching you and then working with you, it's helped me become better in terms of navigating PCE, telling my friends how clean energy works in our county or in our organization, and then to our future chair, vice chair. It's a prime time right now. We're pivoting to a whole new evolution of this organization, and I'm looking forward to working with all y'all and shove around. Pull in the same direction, the same boat with all y'all. So thank you.
Yes, Director Corzine. Thank you.
So
Donna recruited me to be on this board and my capacity was, I was way over capacity already. And I was like, no, I have to like take things off of my plate. I can't add things to my plate. And she promised me that I would enjoy this board. She got me by sharing the vision of what PCAE will be in the future. West Point.
Westlight.
Westlight.
though.
What's the last part?
Energy.
Energy, that's what it is. Okay, see, it hasn't stuck yet. And you made me realize that I did have the capacity to take something on, to take something else on, and that I would really enjoy it and find it meaningful. And that's exactly the case. And that's not often true, right? Lots of people try to recruit you for things, and then you're like, oh my God, why did I listen? But I've been really enjoying my time here, and thank you so much for doing that extra work to make sure that I could be a part of this. And I'm excited for the future and the new chair and the new vice chair. So thank you.
Thank you for saying yes.
Yes, Dr. I just want to thank you, Donna, because your attention to detail and you treat everyone with so much fairness and care and make sure everyone is heard. You keep the meetings fresh, you keep it on point. My God, you know, we finish on time and yet we cover all bases. Everyone gets heard. And I know a bit of the time you put in on this outside of these meetings, and it's horrific. Marty, you're crazy. I never that I'm not divorced. I think the only reason Marty is even considering it is he wants to beat your timeline on that. So I think, but seriously, thank you so much. I don't even know how you did it, and it's part of what has put us in the position we're in, where we've moved and made so many strides. And what a great collaboration, the three of you with Sean and staff and Shalini. I mean, it shows.
My past
Right,
predecessors,
and
Supervisor Pine.
we gave his laudits the last time. He's still here. We know you're here all the time. We appreciate it.
You can outlive us all here.
But
We're gonna rely on him too, so.
Yeah.
I know, you're not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere.
And Marty with the catcher's mitt, helping Donna where needed, that's
Oh,
also,
he's
you
great.
deserve recognition for that.
Yeah, he's
Because that's tough too, but
absolutely.
thank you both.
Welcome. Yes.
I just want to say, Marty, I've been at meetings that you've run and they are amazing, but also we can't all be Donna because only Donna is on. I've worked with Donna at a lot of different places since our kids were little, and you know, maybe you'll surpass, but don't feel badly. Don't feel badly. It's okay. You'll still be doing a fantastic job.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny. You're so funny. Well, thank you all. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you all. And it's been a real pleasure for me. Dave Pine, well, I got assigned this by Marin when I first joined, and I had no idea what it was. And I couldn't, and probably still am not that good at the difference between like a gigawatt and a megawatt and a kilowatt. I have to like keep a little list. But, you know, Dave, I will, you know, really say Dave Pine was a true inspiration and someone who set a very high bar and a really incredible standard. And it was a great pleasure to work with Jen Pepper, work with Rick, work with Dave, work with Jeff Alfs, and then to bring Sean on. And, you know, sometimes timing is everything. And I think timing was everything with our partnership in the first 2 years of your job. And the work that me being on here, we've had a really wonderful time. And we've managed to, when I think about what we've accomplished in these last 10 years, 2 strategic plans, really important, maintaining, you know, our 2% opt-out rate, like barely losing anyone. And now that Leslie's going to be the vice chair, we certainly aren't going to lose Hillsborough. They're certainly staying, so they have to. But also putting together and launching, you know, with Raphael and Shalini and Sean, these incredible extensive programs that have just, the staff has done an amazing job. You know, we had I think what, we're 18 people or 10 people on staff when we first started this?
It was six.
Six? Wow.
When you
Yeah.
launched.
When
you
Yeah,
launched.
and we're now up to 65.
Yeah.
So watching this organization grow, blossom, you know, we're a serious $250 million a year, $300 million a year company, very serious company. And to, you know, I think what I really enjoyed the most was being able to bring the public-private sort of sector, private sector experience and management of a company, whether it was like insisting that we have a CFO and that we have, you know, hiring the auditors, HR, and really helping build out and structure an organization was something that I really enjoyed and really in my wheelhouse. And I just think, you know, name change, customer retention, strategic planning. The thing I'm probably the most proud about, though, to Director Corso's comment is our DEI work and the fact that in the pressure of an environment where, you know, every single business has walked back their commitment to this, and a lot of governmental agencies have been forced or have walked back. We have stood stalwart and put a stake in the ground, really, you know, and just drawn the line and said, this is it. We're going to hold our position here, and our values are going to come through every single day in the work we do. Makes me feel so proud. And that's probably what I'm most excited about. And that's a launching pad for this organization for the next 10 years. So thank you all for indulging me in that work, allowing me to lead that work, and for continuing to not back off in the face of adversity. It gives me hope in so many ways that we're going to see light on the other side of the tunnel here in a few years, and we are doing the right thing for people, making life more affordable. And I also do want to thank Mayor Annabelle. That's another one of our big accomplishments, is bringing in Los Banos and creating such an amazing partnership with you and your city. It's been my great pleasure to go several times and meet your colleagues and your the people that live in Los Banos, go to your restaurants, and the joy and the pleasure I get out of meeting them and seeing them has just been wonderful. It's a beautiful, beautiful community, and I'm so happy that we are partnered with you.
Well, thank you very much. And I've been welcomed so much in my first year on the board, and I appreciate it so much in all your work.
You're welcome. So with that, is there we have no public comment, I'm guessing? What?
When's the right time for us to say something?
Do you want to vote
Should we?
first?
Yeah, we should. vote.
Let's vote,
And
and then we'll,
Then we'll,
then
can
we
we have
can-
a few more comments?
then we can have a few more comments, yeah. So is there anyone who would like to make a motion to approve our new slate? Yes, I would like to accept a motion from Director Nash.
Second.
And I'd like a second from Director Coleman. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
San Mateo County?
Yes.
San Mateo County?
Yes.
Yeah. Atherton?
Yeah.
Belmont?
Yes.
Brisbane?
Yes.
Burlingame?
Yes.
Colma? Daly City?
Yes.
East Palo Alto?
Yes.
Foster City?
Yes.
Half Moon Bay?
Yes.
Hillsborough?
Yes.
Los Banos?
Yes.
Menlo Park?
Yes.
Millbrae? Pacifica?
Yes.
Portola Valley?
Yes.
Redwood City? San Bruno?
Yes.
San Carlos?
Yes.
San Mateo?
Yes.
South San Francisco?
Yes.
Woodside? Motion passes. Thank you.
Motion carried unanimously, yay! We are in very good hands. Thank you both.
You want to go first?
Sure. But first of all, thank you. Thank you for the nominating committee. I am truly honored by your trust in electing me to chair Peninsula Clean Energy. As we approach our 10-year anniversary, we celebrate not just PG&E's longevity,
That's why we changed it.
right?
I know, you're proving our point.
But it's the proof of concept that with the new name and a clear vision for the future, we continue demonstrating that community choice energy can deliver cleaner power at competitive rates. We have saved our customers $225 million while expanding programs that provide real, measurable benefits across our communities. But none of this happens without exceptional leadership and execution. We are fortunate to have an incredibly talented staff and strong executive leadership in our CEO, Sean Marshall. Their expertise position us well for the future. I have served with all of our remarkable board chairs. Founding Chair Dave Pine, along with Jeff Alls, Director Rick DeGolia, and our I would say our queen, Donna Colson. They guided this organization with vision and steady resolve. I'm grateful for their example and for the continued presence of Director DeGolia and Director Colson, who are just a few seats away or a phone call away. I look forward to partnering with Vice Chair Leslie Ragsdale and each and every one of you as PCE evolves into our next chapter. So thank you. Leslie, if you have something to say.
Thank you to the nominating committee for putting your trust in me, and Marty, I'm here whenever, we'll sit down, but whenever you need me, I'm here.
Fantastic. So we have one more thing to do.
Yes, and then I'll, do you want me to say a few things first, and then you can do your thing?
I think they need a break for my speak, so.
No, no break. I look forward to working with you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us as vice chair. I want to just be so brief and say thank you for all that you have done, not only for the agency from day one, but for me personally, really advocating for my leadership, my brand of leadership, standing behind me, supporting me, providing guidance. Both you and Director DeGolia have done that in my tenure here. Couple just things come to mind. You are an amazing strategist, so it's fun to, run things through the traps with you and figure out what's the best way to do it. Okay, should we think about this, etc. So I want to thank you for that. A great thought partner. You're a connector through and through. There is not one person in this room who doesn't know that. That is your secret sauce. And we've really been able to amplify and get things done. Having you on our team and able to pick up the phone and help out when things are needed in Sacramento and otherwise. And then the third is really just, you have no fear of pragmatic change. And I really appreciate that because PCE has gone through an evolution. We are implementing that evolution this year in our 10th year anniversary. You've been there from the beginning and you've been completely willing, as have all of you, to look at what makes the most sense for us going forward. But it does require some courage to do that because not everybody always agrees, right? And you've done that with grace and clarity and just tremendous leadership. So I want to say thank you. I'm going to miss working with you. I'm looking forward to working with you, Chair Medina, Vice Chair Ragsdale, all of us are. You're not going anywhere now.
Just moving right there.
Right, gonna sit right next to Rick. And I know Marty has some things to say and we have some things for you. Because you need more things on your bedside table. Thank you, congratulations.
So I want to add first a personal note to Dawn and to Donna's leadership here at PCE and also for her personal friendship that you've given to me outside of PCE where if I was having a problem in San Bruno, wow, I got a call from Donna Colson and we went for a walk. I remember that walk. And it was my family was there and her husband was there and we took this really nice walk and after that it was like it was okay. And Donna, you've always pushed me a little bit to kind of like, hey, why don't you get on one of these board, it's audit finance, it's really not that much time. And I was like, yeah, well, I really want to focus on San Bruno, and then it was, a couple of years later, hey, there's another committee, maybe you're gonna get on this one, and it's like, oh, it's really not much more time, so. She's really good at that, right? So many of you probably got that call already, and so it finally got to the executive committee, and it was like, yeah, I could do that, and let me, as you guys probably are learning yourselves, this is a wonderful board to be on. I mean, we are doing such incredible work, and it's really satisfying, and it's like one of the best things about being a council person from San Bruno is that PCE and what we're doing here. So it finally got to the point where Donna said, hey, vice chair. And I went like, vice chair, yeah, well, and it's like, okay, right? And here we are now. And so Donna, thank you. Thank you so much for everything. And staff gave me a little something to share with you because there's so much. And it's kind of like at the end of the year when you're in your cities and when you're kind of reviewing and it's like all these things that we've done. So here's what it is. And thanking Donna for her leadership. She has led us through significant operational growth and a seamless leadership transition, partnering closely with our CEO to provide steady direction and momentum. We have welcomed many new staff members and nearly half of our board has turned over in the last 2 years. During this time, we strengthened our infrastructure as nearly every department expanded to meet our customer needs. Our team now includes dedicated IT, risk, rates, and HR personnel. We added an innovation strategies department and brought our customer call center and general counsel in-house. We also expanded our community presence through strategic partnerships, program growth, and DEI initiatives. Our financial strength and stability position us to navigate PCIA headwinds while advancing our mission and delivering meaningful rate discounts. PCE is on solid footing, Donna, as we approach our 10th anniversary with a new name, a refreshed brand, and a move to our headquarters in San Mateo. These accomplishments reflect Donna's leadership and the strong partnership of this board. With that said, ready? It is my honor to present Donna this award in recognition of her dedicated and exemplary service to PCE.
Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. I'm all making kind of a MAGA thing.
I also want to just add to that. Thank you, Director.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
This was meant to be given to you. Gosh, I think it was December. We had our all staff meeting and we did service awards for folks who've been with us for over 5 years.
Oh
and
my
that
gosh,
includes you.
Thank you.
So here's another fun thing for your bedside table.
That was great. That was really.
I can't
Yeah,
wait.
that's nice. Okay.
Okay.
And this is just for
I'm
me.
gonna
So
show you. We'll see what it looks like. This is what you all have to aspire to.
You all can get
lots of glass.
Ooh, it actually is quite
It is.
pretty.
Ooh.
So stick around.
Yeah.
And you might get something really nice. Stick around.
That's right.
Thank you.
In addition to
So great.
pizza and So I think.
Thank you. Is that it?
I think that's it.
There's some.
Oh, these are just for me.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
sweet.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all. There's really not much more to say here today. I look forward to continuing this great work and I stand on the shoulders, we all stand on the shoulders of those who came before us.
Indeed.
And we look out over the horizon with our new members, here today. Ray, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you too. And all of you who've joined, recently and come as alternates and everything. I appreciate that everyone shows up. It's really great. And you've all been amazing, wonderful people. And I call every single one of you friend because I have every one of your phone numbers. And it's been a great journey getting to know you all as people and as friends. And I look forward to keeping those friendships and these relationships for the rest of my life and just knowing how important you all are to me and how important this organization is.
Indeed.
Thank you.
You have public comment?
Okay, no public comment, we'll close it.
Board member reports.
Board
Oh,
member
yes.
reports? Yeah, you go ahead, take it over, my friend.
Anybody? Yes.
I had a couple things. I was talking to Mark and Mike, earlier, but I was upset by AB 130 and SB 131 last year and, you know, our inability to enact reach codes in our cities. And decided to apply for the Cal Cities Environmental Quality Policy Committee and got appointed to that. That's why I missed. You know, obviously I'm gonna be connected with Mark on, you know, things that can help advocate for PCE, but there's other environmental issues too, so have my number, call me. And then, I've also been involved since I got on council with a group called Civic Well. They put on the Climate and Energy Forum that PCE has been involved with. They're just a really great organization. They have a policymakers conference coming up in Yosemite, March 12th to 14th. I've been the last 2 years. The theme is from recovery to resiliency. Ben Allen and Catherine Blakespear, our senators, are going to be there that are really strong environmental focus too. So I'd love to have some company. So I'll be going. So hopefully, yeah. I haven't seen a lot of representation from San Mateo County. And it's a really just great, inspiring group. So thank you.
Anybody else? Of course, Director Marin.
Thank you. I'll be brief, and I just wanted to cheat a little bit because I wanted to make sure I thank Donna for her service, but I also want to thank you, Marty, now Chair Medina for taking this on, for continuing up the ladder, and for all of your representation for this board to date and now to come. I can't think of a better choice for chair, and let's go. And I do want to thank Vice Chair Ragsdale for stepping up because it is extra. This is not nothing, and she's doing a lot of other things as well. And I just appreciate being eager to jump in and make PCE the best it can be. Thank you.
Fantastic. Director Corzo?
No, that was from earlier, sorry.
Okay. Doctor?
Yeah. I just want to invite you all to our Lunar New Year celebration, Daly City. I believe it's gonna be at our city hall. It's gonna be at City Hall, but I believe it's gonna start around like 10 or 11 o'clock. And knowing that we have good weather, come on down. It's not gonna be that fun.
Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday. Yeah.
Anybody else? All right, there's extra pizza still
Extra
around there,
pizza.
so take some home
That's
and
What's an issue? I don't know. Brianna, where's the pizza from?
all right, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Drive safe.